Hi, it's Dan Bernie here again. We'll have a quick little video for those of you who are just getting into the real estate business and you're going to be taking classes to become a real estate agent. There are two required classes in Pennsylvania to become a real estate agent. It's different in New Jersey and in Delaware. But we'll talk about how to get those additional licenses at the end of this. So for Pennsylvania, there's two classes you need to take. One is called Fundamentals, Real Estate Fundamentals. The other one's called Real Estate Practices. And it is kind of what it sounds like. The fundamentals are kind of the vague backgrounds of the history of real estate, understanding deeds and title insurance, and a lot of the history of real estate and how it all came together. Practice is generally the tools required and the skills required to do the day-to-day real estate practices. For example, how to calculate a commission or how to figure out a mortgage payment, things along those lines. And fundamentals generally stays the same. Practice changes with the times. There's no reason why you should take one rather than the other. There's no order difference. You're going to have a learning curve no matter what. So let's talk about some of your choices. At Artisan Realty, where I am right here, we recommend only one real estate school. That's Poley Real Estate School. It's their website is www.poley, P-O-L-L-E-Y, associates with an S.com. So www.polleyassociates.com. In my opinion, it's the best school, and I'll just leave it at that for now. With that school, you have the option of taking courses online, which of course has some advantages and disadvantages, or taking the course in person. You can take it in 2 mornings a week, 2 afternoons a week. You can take it all at once, 4 mornings a week, 4 afternoons a week. You can take it on weekends. Classes start on Friday night and continue till Sunday afternoon on the weekends. Or you could take it, as we said, online. The advantages of taking it online are obvious. You can do it whenever you want. From home, in your slippers. The disadvantages are that you won't get that kind of nuanced experience that comes from a real estate instructor. They won't stop in the middle of your online training and say, now this is really important or this is not as important. And you won't get the beneficial summaries before the quizzes and exams, the review of everything that's out there so you can get a sense of what to study and what not to study. If you take it in person, you get all those benefits. You get the instructor's knowledge, the experience, the real estate stories, the focus on what's important, what's not important. But of course, you have a scheduling problem because you have to be there 9 to 12 or 6:30 till 9:30, whatever the time of the course is. So depending on how your life is organized, that's just a choice you get to make. Take a look at my notes here. Um, the key to real estate is vocabulary, and it's not like any other course that you may have had in high school or college. Think about how they're going to test you in real estate. They're going to test you with a multiple choice question. So they can't get into, hey, here's a blue book, right? You know, everything you need to know about the history of real estate. And they're not going to ask you oral questions. It's not going to be about how many times you raise your hand in class. It's going to be about whether you understand the definition of a vocabulary word or a concept. So therefore, because this is a multiple choice world there, the key is to understanding vocabulary. Every single time you come across a new vocabulary word in your training, you should write it down on an index card, or an index card is probably the best way to do it. I'll explain why. And so if you had the word, for example, escheat, which is a real estate term, you would write that down on an index card. Or if you had the word square footage, which is a concept of how to do math to get square footage, length times width equals square footage, then you would write that down on an index card. The benefit is this, I'll skip ahead to it. When you're finally done and you've taken both courses and you have these two sets of vocabulary cards, you can push them both together and you can literally have 3 piles. Hey, I know that for sure. I'm going to put that in that pile. I'm not 100% sure on that one. I'm going to put that in the middle pile. Oh, geez, I've never understood this term or this concept. I'm going to put it in that pile. And in order to have success, in order to pass the course, which pile do you think you should be studying from? Obviously, you're going to, what you know, you don't have to go back and repeat. But the 2 piles of things that you might know a little bit or you don't understand at all, that's where you can move your your percentage of knowledge from a 65% to an 85%. The problem with textbooks, if you stop and think about it, or a video online course, is that if you're going to go back and do it again, you have to do it all again. You have to read the entire textbook. You have to watch the entire video, the entire online presentation. If you break it down to these index cards of the key concepts and the key things to understand, you only have to study the part that you don't need. So it's a simple little point, but it really is the difference between getting it done in an easy fashion or hard fashion. It's kind of something that I can't stress enough. Now, there's a lot of math in the course, grade school level math, junior high level math, not the calculus or any of the crazy stuff that our poor kids have to go through now. Very manageable, very easy to do, but it's a small percentage, maybe 10 or 15% of the tests to get out of the real estate school to pass on to take the state real estate exam. And when you take the state real estate exam, it might only be 2 or 3 or 4 questions. So if you're hung up on math, just let that go. You only need a 70 to pass the exams. Don't kill yourself. Don't think you have to relearn math from the very beginning. It's handy when you're a real estate agent, obviously, but don't focus on math to the point where it's going to strangle you or take you away from learning all the other important concepts, which are tested a lot more. You do need a regular calculator to do the math, and they will let you take a calculator into the state real estate exam and the exams at POLI as well. Your attitude is also very important. When you do this, you can do it, right? If you do not pass the exams given by the real estate school, they will simply give you the exam again after giving you an adequate time to restudy, relearn the material. And if you don't pass again, they will give you another opportunity and another opportunity. And the same with the state real estate exam. You can take it again, take it again, take it again, as long as you're studying in between. And obviously you have the assistance of me, Dan Burney, who was an instructor in all these courses, and I can certainly sit down and help you at any level of these courses. You will pass it. So don't let any of it get you down. I guarantee you're going to fail your first quiz because they purposely put trick questions and trick answers in there. For example, what's the square foot of this property? It's a 10 by 10 lot. Well, it's 100 square feet, right? Well, you didn't look closely. They gave it to you in inches. Then you had to convert it to square feet. You know, one of those kind of things. They do that on purpose because there is a small percentage of trick questions in the state real estate exam, so they want to over-prepare you for that. So you will get burned by that. Then the second time you're going to start looking for it, then you'll be okay. So don't let that bother you. But your attitude should be that I can do this. There's no question I can do this. Don't let it get you down. If you're taking the classroom courses with POLI, they're going to issue you their own textbook, which they've devised, and they're going to issue you a national textbook. It's really important to understand that the national textbook, you can't study that as if it's factual, important information for passing tests in Pennsylvania. It's going to give you national information, some contradictory information. You may learn what's correct in Ohio, but it's not going to be the right answer for a Pennsylvania test. So the textbook is one of those read it, forget it. It has a very interesting glossary in it, which will help you a lot when you look up vocabulary. But the textbook that they issue you in the on-site class is 100% of where you want to focus your time and attention. Write on it, highlight, bend the pages over, rip the pages out, whatever you have to do. But that's the one you want to understand, and then follow the guidance of the teachers. So we'll probably say, hey, this is very important. This is something you're going to see in the state real estate exam, things like that. If you're taking it online, you're at a disadvantage because there is no guidance other than what is online, and of course you'd have to watch it again in order to get it, unless you follow my rules with the index cards. Thinking too much. Now, a lot of you guys will be bringing in knowledge from outside of a real estate career. You know too much. And if you think about it, there's 4 answers in a multiple choice question. Red is a hot color. Red is a cool color. Red is a mild color. Red is a tonal color. Well, if you know a whole lot about tonality because you come from an art background, you're going to know too much and you're going to get the wrong answer. So in a multiple choice question, they've given you the concept, the word association, and the right answer in class. If you studied, you know it. And if you know something that gives weight to one of the other answers, and it comes from your personal background and not from something that was learned in class, don't give any weight to that. It's a very simple, here's what we taught you in class, what did we teach you in class is the answer, not what you bring in for the rest of your life. So consequently, people with legal backgrounds, people with engineering backgrounds, people with advanced degrees have a really tough time with the multiple choice questions because they bring so much knowledge to the table. But you really have to kind of dumb it down, simplify it, and think about what happened in the classroom to make this answer the correct answer. Let's see what we got here. If you don't pass the exam, strategies, there's lots of strategies for not passing the exam. If you did the index cards, it's really, really simple. Just go back to the things that you don't know. Review the index cards right afterwards and pull out the ones that were in that exam that you weren't sure of. And only study what you don't know. If you really get to a point in the end where you're lost, you don't know what to study, you've taken the test twice, and you really need some help, we'll go out and we'll buy something called a monster test, which is 100 questions. We'll have you sit down, go through the test, we'll mark it, we'll pull out the wrong answers, and we will, working with you, take those wrong answers and make sure that you know them, and again, get your skill from 65% to 85%. If you get a 70% in the Poli real estate final, you're going to get an 85% in the state real estate exam. It's excellent preparation for passing the test. It's harder than what's going to happen to the state real estate exam. So the goal is to get out of the school and be able to sit for the state real estate exam. Let's see. I think that's about it for the keys to passing a test. Remember that everyone in our office at Artisan Realty will help you. If you get to a point where you're stumped on a concept, email us, make an appointment to come and sit down and talk with us. We'll get you through it. We want to see you here as a valuable real estate agent working for our company, and the fact that you're watching this video means that you've been hand selected, and we think that you've got a lot on the ball and you'll be successful in real estate. So take that to heart. If you have any other questions, just give us a call, 948-8018. That's our 800 number. Thanks. Have a great day.